Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Honda to recall 750,000 vehicles due to default and faulty airbags, even the iconic Honda Civic. Now, it shouldn't be too much of a surprise, since unfortunately, one of the downsides of the automotive community is they don't make many of the subcomponents that go into their vehicles. Perhaps the most famous recall in history, and the biggest recall in history, is certainly related to the Takata airbags, which are so bad it actually bankrupted the company. That's where you saw, again, these airbags are put in pretty much every manufacturer on the planet, and the chemical compound wasn't safety enough to maintain over time. Unfortunately, they turned to become destructive. Well, not in the legal sense of destructive device. That's a interesting NFA item for another time, another topic perhaps, but destructive to say the least. Now, specifically, this comes from Money Watch and CBS News. They note that Honda is recalling more than 750,000 vehicles to replace defective sensor that could result in the front passenger airbags inflating unintentionally, potentially harming smaller children or adults in a crash. They note that the front passenger seat weight sensor could crack or short circuit, failing to turn off the airbag when it's supposed to, according to documents posted by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. They also note that the sensors are meant to disable the airbags when kids and smaller adults are sitting in the front seats. Now, they note that dealers will replace the sensors at no cost to the vehicle's owner, obviously, who will receive a notification at the beginning of March 18th, or just send this video over to them, and they'll know right then and there. Ahead of the curve, some might say. Now, unfortunately, recall is affecting a lot of their iconic models, including the Honda Pilot, Honda Accord, Civic Sedan, I'm safe, HR-V, Odyssey models through 2020 through 2022 model years, including also the 2020 Honda Civic Coupe, 2021-2022 Honda Civic Hatchback, 2021 Honda Civic Type R, and Insight in 2020 and 2021 CR-V, CR-V Hybrid, Passport, Ridgeline, and Accord Hybrid. Haha, I'm safe. Got lucky for once. My 2018 Civic Si lives on with the stick shift by default. I highly respect Honda for having to model a true enthusiast vehicle that only comes with a stick shift. Honda Civic Si and Type R. Very rare these days in the automotive community. Now, they also know that impacted models from the Acura luxury brand include the 2020 and 2022 MDX, 2020 to 2022 RDX, and 2020 and 2021 TLX. Which, again, Honda owns Acura, very similar to or exactly similarly to Toyota owning Lexus, which I don't know what it is about luxury brands always wanting to use some type of nomenclature like the MDX, RDX instead of an actual name for a vehicle. A controversy or marketing dilemma or debate for another time, I understand. They also note that Honda has received more than 3,800 warranty claims due to the problem beginning June 30th, 2020 and January 19th, 2024. Automaker said in a statement filed with the state regulator, it has not received any reports of injuries or death. So again, there's a silver lining in the situation. And again, I always tell people, if you squint hard enough in life, you can usually find a silver lining. And in this case, thankfully, this hasn't affected anyone's life and they haven't been hurt in any way. Now, that being said, still a terrible business blunder because, again, it's one of those things where they'll always stress the fact that this isn't going to cost the consumer anything, which technically is true. You're not having to swipe the credit card, or rarely, as some people still do, they use cash. You just go to the dealership and they'll fix it. However, that's still costing you time, and time is everything. And in some cases, if you don't have a spouse who can drop it off for you, if you're going to the dealership, you're also going to spend gas money. You're also going to have a decreased perception of the brand. It's also inconvenient. You might be out of it. They don't specify if this is like a 1 hour fix or a multi-hour fix, which in some cases may necessitate that car being there at the dealership overnight while it's being fixed. And again, it's a Honda. It's supposed to be bulletproof. That's one of the best things about them. They'll last a million miles. It's brilliant, exceptional Japanese engineering. And yet they keep having these types of recalls where, again, very thankful no one has been hurt from this instance, but you still have to go to the dealership, and it still decreases your perception of the brand quality of the vehicle, and it's still not convenient. Now, again, it's not related to the drivetrain. Again, another silver lining is it doesn't have anything to do with the engine or the transmission, which is also good for Honda because that means it won't be astronomically expensive or prohibitively expensive to actually pay to fix these vehicles. But still, having a recall that affects so many vehicles, I mean 750,000 vehicles And again, your whole brand, especially Honda and Toyota, their brand is reliability bar none. It's almost a joke how well reliable they usually are. Top Gear has many episodes where they'll do like a competition to see which vehicle will last the longest. And the Japanese vehicles are so reliable, they'll make it to the end of the show. And was it 1999 Toyota Celica? They had an instance where no matter how much they beat the crap out of the vehicle, the Toyota kept running. They got to the point where they drained the oil. They kept driving it around. It still ran before the engine seized up, obviously, because there's no oil. But it still went around the course a couple times. They're that reliable. So they have something where, again, your core brand is all about reliability. They have so many recalls, especially the ones where you have to go to the dealership and they're going to have to, in this case, it might not be a physical wrench. It's more, cloth and cutting. But nevertheless, it's going to involve some wrench time. That still has to be the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of February, so if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leave me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. A comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Sharing the episode is also greatly appreciated. It helps with the YouTube and all the algorithms. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.